Martin. There's Gordon moving on up to try and grab 6th away from Jerry Nadeau.
One thing that's working in Gordon's favor right now is that the field has strung out a good bit. It's not that he's in that massive traffic that he was in when we first got the green flag on the restart.
Attrition, though, has not been that high.
Not 39,
no, 39 of the 43 starters are still out there. Only Schrader, Kyle Petty, Buckshot Jones, Wallace, and Kenny Irwin done for the day. Pretty good speeds here at this track as Gordon now moves to the inside of Sterling Marlin.
Watching Gordon right now, he is almost a full turn behind the leaders right now, and to get back up there, you have to drive the car extremely hard in traffic. You have to do things that the leader has a clear racetrack on. Until the leader gets into lap traffic, Gordon's doing more work to get towards the front than the leader is to maintain.
Now he is 6 seconds and change back. We'll show you what that interval looks like. There goes Mark Martin right there. Then 6.7 seconds back is where Jeff Gordon is running, and we'll widen out and show you. Just mark the spot, and all the way back 6 more seconds, there you see Gordon. He's got a little catching up to do yet.
I would hate to have to gain ground on that particular race car. I keep looking for something he's doing wrong. I can't find it.
Well, he wins today. It'll be his personal best ever in a season of Winston Cup racing. It'll be his 6th victory. Of course, we count the Winston at Charlotte. Makes it number 7. But point races, 5 is the most he's ever won. He has won 5 so far this year. Today would be 6 if he can grab it.
This is a dominating run, though not the most dominating year ever. You guys probably hear. The year before I started covering the sport, back in '75, David Pearson won here by 7 laps over second place Cecil Gordon. That was not that unusual in that day and time to see multiple lap margins of victory.
David Pearson and the Wood brothers at this racetrack was it was almost like watching a computer run the race course around here. David Pearson would get into a mode and he would run the same speed forever, it seemed like. Great driver on this track. I tried to catch him several times, never did.
A lot tougher now. Rules are so restrictive and so tight, and NASCAR polices these cars to try to keep them even, but look what's happening.
There's going to be a good scramble right here, but they're also closing in just a bit more on Mark Martin. Everybody's closing in just a tick.
Makes you wonder if he says, I have a great race car, why abuse it? I made to set a good pace out here, and if they start getting too close, I'll pick up the pace.
129 miles remaining. Still lots of racing here at the Monster Mile. Mike Beam and the whole McDonald's team cheering their man on.
Marty's here. Okay, let's see a fuel injector for a Ford Probe.
Multi-port?
It's too easy. How about a gasket for a Yugo?
With sealer?
EGR valve for 74 Gremlin.
See you tomorrow, Marty.
Get 4 of our 35,000-mile tires. Any size, only $99. Or double your mileage with 4 70,000-mile tires, just $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Well, we build marine winches here and marine deck equipment. My boots, they're very important. I got to walk around all day in them. They better be comfortable and they better be right. These are my feet.
You have to have the equipment to match the environment. Bottom line.
Wolverine DuraShocks, the world's most comfortable boots, guaranteed.
We're not talking about a new kid on the block here. Wolverine's been around a long time.
I got enough hard work to do here in a day that I don't need my feet hurt.
Mark Martin is the race leader here at Dover International Speedway in Delaware. He will again be the driver to lead the most laps and pick up the additional 5 bonus points for doing so. Matt Kenseth in second, Rusty Wallace third, Dale Jarrett fourth, Bobby Labonte is fifth, Jeff Gordon is sixth, Jerry Nadeau seventh, John Andretti eighth. Ninth place will be Bobby Hamilton. Now Gordon is backslid a little bit. There he is, still same spot in the rundown, but he's now 7.1 seconds back. So he's lost about a half second of that margin that he had picked up a while ago.
His relative speed is not as high as that of Mark Martin either. Not like he's the fastest car on the racetrack at this point. He is not.
Working around Rich Bickle.
See, he's having a little bit of trouble coming up out of the corner there. Bickle is fast down the straightaway. Jeff looks to the bottom side of the racetrack trying to go by Bickle. Watch it as they come off right here. You can see the 98 car with just for a couple of laps there giving him a little bit of trouble.
Doesn't want to force the issue. Bickle goes wide now in 21st spot, and that opened the door for Jeff Gordon. There's the Napa scoring rundown. Napa Auto Parts, we keep America running. First place back to second. There it is. 1.7 seconds back to Matt Kenseth. Long way from Cambridge, Wisconsin to this kind of center stage, isn't it?
Boy, oh boy, but I tell you what, he's rung the bell around the country to let everybody know Matt Kenseth is not just a Grand National driver. He's a driver, period.
And it's not been a fluke either. I mean, he's had to drive this car today, dealing with traffic. The hood's been up on it a couple of times. It's not been a gimme by any stretch.
His Busch Series car owner, Robbie Reiser, used to race against him and decided that Kenseth was so good that when Reiser decided to step aside, get out of the seat, he said, I want him to drive the car.
And yesterday it was a brand new car that Robbie Reiser and the fellows brought for him. They hadn't even tested it anywhere. They really had no new car blues in the practice runs on Friday. I went out and took her to the house there yesterday and grabbed the checkered flag. Been that kind of a weekend for Kenseth, but pretty good run thus far for that guy right there. That's the ultimate story here today. Mark Martin just continuing to eat up the real estate.
You know, this makes our job so much fun. We were doing the race, the first race that Matt Kenseth ever won when he beat Tony Stewart off turn 4 there in Rockingham. And now to see him up here in second place in the Western Cup race, I tell you, it makes you feel good about what you do.
In such a short time.
Yeah.
That was February. Look at how far he's come.
1.9 seconds back. Got Ward Burton and then Matt Kenseth. Burton in the garage earlier today. He's 50 laps down in 39th position, Ward is. What's really impressed me, too, is that Kenseth has not forced the issue. If a pass wasn't there, he wouldn't try and put the car where it shouldn't go.
He's driving smart beyond his experience. He really is.
Don't you think the race car and Mike Beam and those guys, they have a great race car. Bill's had some misfortune through the year, but that race car is basically very, very good. Almost as good as the 6 today. But I tell you, Mark Martin right now, he's not doing anything that you could say, okay, I'm going to do something a little better right here that'll gain a little ground on Mark Martin. You just couldn't do it.
Now, of course, last year, Mark again won the pole. Was running in the top 5 here in May until he pitted at lap 389. Finished a lap down to the race winner, Dale Jarrett. Had to settle for 7th that day. Bottom line, this race isn't over. Over 100 miles of racing to go. Lots can happen.
What's for lunch? Cranberry and jelly. Ham and cheese. Another day.
Morning, boys. How are you?
Morning, Mr. France.
Nice looking shirt you got on there.
These drivers are ready, and they are looking sharp. Right you are, Chuck. There's the green, and the chase is on.
Chase Authentics Apparel.
That's why it's called the Intimidator.
The chase is on.
And it's a fight to the finish.
Congratulations. Thanks, sir. Had a good run today. Yeah, thanks a million. Nice check. Nice shirt. Yeah, thanks. You too. Thank you.
Where will the world's next great city be built? It could be Russia, China, Brazil, or maybe somewhere in between. Whatever it is, wherever it is, make something great. Stanley.
It's the race you've waited for all season, and now it's on TNN. Don't miss racing history. Daytona goes under the lights in the Pepsi 400, October 17th at 8 Eastern, only on TNN Motorsports.
It looks bad, real bad, but it's not a lost cause. Bring your wreck to High Tech. High Tech Auto Body, Muller Lane, Newport News. The one-piece unibody construction of today's vehicles requires a specialized machine to get your car back in shape. High Tech Auto Body has that device and the experience to use it, and you can rest easy knowing that all bodywork receives a lifetime warranty from High Tech Auto Body.
High Tech Auto Body. High Tech, not high price.
The credit card companies have made it extremely easy for all of us to get in debt. The good news is that interest rates are at an all-time low, and you don't even need any equity in your home to get out of the debt. All you have to do is just give me a call. I can help you.
They call Paul Clemens the Crunch Man because he's the best at getting people out of debt. Whether you want to get out of a crunch or save a bunch, you'll be glad you called. No more excuses, no better time. Call now.
Darrell Waltrip outran two young up-and-coming drivers to bring home his second win at Dover back in 1982. Waltrip edged 22-year-old Kyle Petty by those car lengths right there for the checkers. 26-year-old Bill Elliott finished a close third that same day. There you see Darrell Waltrip's season. Of course, we're looking at varying race teams right there, you've got to remember. But that's been the up-and-down kind of year that Darrell Waltrip has had. Riding with him now, he's in 24th spot here today. And we've got a problem here on the main straightaway. And caution. Caution. That's...
Just stay high and you'll be okay.
Jeff Burton, who comes to a stop near the end of the pit wall, heading towards turn number 1. And caution is on the speedway for the 5th time today. Lap 292, 108 miles from the finish.
He drove it directly into the garage area right now. You see him taking the window net down. I was very concerned that he might have re-injured himself. He got hurt at New Hampshire, but he looks to be okay. He's shaking his head. I'm okay.
He was 29 laps down after being involved in a problem, an accident earlier in the day. Back at lap number 85. He had gone to the garage at that time. And now Jeff Burton brings out caution for the 5th time. Now, as I said, 108, 107 miles from the finish. Fuel.
And you just said in the broadcast not long ago, Dick Berggren said Mark Martin gets great gas mileage.
Well, we'll see. Jeff Gordon last time when he did not have that great gas mileage, they had the wick turned up on the motor. Ray Evernham has taken a more moderate position this time. They don't have it turned up quite as much, so he should get better fuel mileage. Will it be enough?
Well, here they come down pit road. It'll be lap 294, 106 miles to conclusion. All the top runners are in. Nobody is staying out, obviously. Kenseth will be the first one to stop. Steve?
And Matt Kenseth comes to a stop. Joe Garone said he did not think they would make any chassis adjustments to the 94. Right side tires going on. They do make a chassis adjustment on the right side, shifting weight to the left. Now the left side tires coming off. 4 tires for Matt Kenseth. Let's check in now with Glenn Jarrett.
Okay, Mark Martin is in down here, guys, and this will be 4 tires and fuel. Fuel being the key word here. I asked Jack Roush if they can make it all the way. He did not give me an answer. Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett are the guys that make it out first. I'm going to tell you what I would do. If there was any doubt whatsoever in my mind that I couldn't make it, there's only 9 cars on the lead lap. Right before we go back to green, I'd have to come in and top off.
Good strategy right there. And there you see how they came off the pit lane. Matt, how about Jeff Gordon's stop?
A 17.1-second stop for Jeff Gordon. He'd been complaining the car had gone to the loose side, so they went back to the original air pressure on the previous stop. 4 tires. He's hoping that, looking at the laps, fuel mileage could play into this. Remember, they had trouble with fuel mileage back in the May race. They might not be able to go the distance. This could be a big gamble. They may have to stop with 2 to 3 laps left to go.
So throw another story into what has been a weekend full of storylines.
There's another story, too. Rusty Wallace had backslid quite a bit. I'm sure he was glad to get this pit stop under the caution.
Ray Evernham, back to you, talking with NASCAR official Hoss Berry. Pit stops continuing.
No, don't say it.
Nice to see our director, Gary Clem, having a good time.
Walk over there and I'll take a picture.
Introducing the incredible power of new Duracell Ultra.
That's lovely, Jerry. That's lovely. Wait a minute. By the statue.
Now cameras get faster flashes, up to 100 more pictures.
That's it. Lovely. Let yourself go.
New Duracell Ultra with a concentrated power force to give more life to your high-tech devices.
Yes. Work it. Work it.
New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
You're born, you die. In between, you work on cars. We should all be so lucky.
Let me tell you a story about the trucks that never sleep.
Got an early one, huh?
Better fill it up. It's the tough new line of Ford F-Series, with over 50 different models to custom fit the job. That's more than anyone else. And they all come with power you can count on. They're like some trusty sidekick in an old Western. Except this movie never ends.
See you tomorrow.
You can count on it. The Ford F-Series, the most powerful, most complete line of trucks ever built, Ford Tough.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
This is no ordinary leather jacket. Because when you put it on, you're not just saying you're a NASCAR fan. You're saying you care about kids.
Buy the Exide NASCAR Select battery in 1998 and get the special 50th anniversary NASCAR jacket for just $150.
And on behalf of NASCAR fans everywhere, Exide will donate all profits to Give Kids the World Foundation.
The special edition 50th anniversary NASCAR jacket. Look for details wherever Exide NASCAR Select is sold.
Nice jacket.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the MBNA Gold 400 is being brought to you by the Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford Tough. By the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning. And by Exide NASCAR Select, the official automotive battery of NASCAR. About set to go to racing again. The 1-to-go signal from Rodney Wise atop the flag stand. He's a native of the state of Delaware, and that young fella's been flagging races in front of the grandstand here for many, many years. The reason we're under caution, don't want to forget to show you the look of that spin involving Jeff Burton. Wonder if Musgrave might have nudged him or took the air off the spoiler or
no,
what?
I think Ted Musgrave's got in the back of the 99 there. Jeff Burton had trouble not long ago, and he's many, many laps back, and so did Musgrave. So they just got together coming off the corner there.
Now here Jeff goes inside of Ted Musgrave. They'll go through 3 and 4.
Right here as he comes up, listen. See right there?
Low wall. Boom! Oh dear. DNF number 4 of the year.
And let's see what it looked like from Ted's view.
Oh, boy. That's too close to Carl there.
Interesting. Set to go back to green.
Ready. Ready. Green flag. Green, green, green. Good, John. Go, go, go.
If we stay from here, it's 101 miles of green, a total of 106 miles altogether. From when they took on fuel. See Matt Kenseth there in the middle behind Gordon and Jarrett.
Yeah, he come in the pits in second, went out in fifth.
Except for Bobby Hamilton, he repitted. He was the last guy on the lead lap. He came back in and took more fuel. Only one who did.
See Mark Martin just move over. Looks like he's in trouble there. The 6 car is off the pace just a little bit.
Well, Mayfield went by and got back on the tail end of the lead lap.
Okay.
Ernie Irvan got by. He's on the tail end of the lead lap now.
Well, Mark's
so
back
10th
up
and 11th spot. Glenn, what's the deal?
Well, they're saying he's okay. I saw Jimmy motion to Jack Rouse and give the okay sign. Their strategy originally was for, he's just letting those lap cars go by so they wouldn't press him. Originally, their strategy was to run as hard as they could and get as far away from the rest of them and stop in for a splash. Meanwhile, Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett's crews both say that they can make it all the way. There was no question about Labonte. He gets better gas mileage than a bicycle.
Eli, you could hear the crowd just go screaming there. Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon made contact in the middle of the corner there.
That wasn't the crowd. That was you.
No, it was not me.
That was a great bit right there. Kenseth and Gordon got together. Sure did.
Oh.
Jerry Nadeau, bam. Off the wall.
Nadeau running 7th. Best finish of the year for him. 15th at Watkins Glen. His best finish on the oval for Nadeau. 21st at both Daytona and Pocono.
Scrape some of that green paint off.
That right there. All in the top 5.
4th, 5th, and 6th right there. You see Gordon under the 88 car there. Dale Jarrett looking to the inside, going down towards turn 1. Just behind him, Rusty Wallace moving in.
Word from the pits, Kenseth's engine is fine, not skipping at this point. Obviously, Gordon's is not either, as he goes on the bottom of Dale Jarrett and takes the spot.
Rusty Wallace around Jarrett there. We're at lap 304. Watch what happened again seconds ago. There you have Nadeau and Andretti bumped right there, working the straightaway. Everywhere you look, there's been some kind of action today. There's Kenseth and Gordon. They have again put Ernie Irvan a lap down in 11th.
The green car there, that's Bobby Labonte now running in 2nd spot due to a great pit stop. They got him right back out there. Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon, though, are closing in on him in a hurry.
Quick lap last time by was Jeff Gordon's lap. Kenseth 2nd fastest last time, with Mark Martin 3rd.
Ernie Irvan in that 36 is one of the few guys that tried practice up and down on the racetrack. Most of the guys were just trying to stay as low as possible, but he tosses that car into the corners so hard that he had no choice but to find out what was going on upstairs. And here comes Gordon on the inside against it.
He's got 3rd, so Gordon grabs the spot. See if Kenseth can cover it. He does before Rusty Wallace sneaks on through.
Irvan and his team thought they were going to have a big day today.
Kenseth goes up the racetrack. Rusty Wallace takes the spot away. Right now, Kenseth's car does not seem to be turning as well as it was just before the pit stop.
Up front, Martin's lead is 9/10 of a second. But he's just running out there by himself, hence we keep an eye on this scramble right here. Moments ago, remember when Nadeau, or at least when Kenseth and Gordon got together? That was a few laps ago, but doesn't seem to have bothered Gordon any. Joe Nemechek making an unscheduled stop. He's running in 34th position today. Hasn't really been much of a factor. There's second place on back. Only exception is that second car in the picture, Ernie Irvan. Ernie's back a lap down in 11th now.
Eli, he's a lap down, but he's running just as well as any of these cars. And right now, you know, he can't just pull over and let people by, because he's racing to finish as high up as he possibly can. As long as he's not in the way, NASCAR won't bother him.
You know one thing Ernie's done, too, when they go back to the tracks now a second time this year, he is averaging, his finishes are 11 positions higher the second time they go to a track than they were the first time they visited here in 1998. So again, maybe you don't win every week, but at least they're seeing that kind of improvement on the Skittles team. And that Pontiac is running much, much better here today. Lap 313 of 400. Overcast time again. That's when Kenseth really runs well. Oh, problems in the corner. We'll update you when we come back.
They come from all over for the most agonizing test of endurance motorsports has to offer. The heavyweight championship of off-road racing. The legendary Baja 1000. Mile after mile of unforgiving terrain that can send even the toughest truck to an early grave, which means it can really be murder on a battery. That's why more drivers who tackle the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
That looks tasty.
It's a big can. I got this one for free.
Gonna eat them both?
Not if you let me play baseball.
Baseball? Smell that, Coach. What position?
Shortstop. No, second base. And I want a bat, too.
Welcome aboard, slugger.
The Flame Broil Big King. It's like a Big Mac, but tastes better with 75% more beef. Buy one now, say it just tastes better, and get a second one free.
How'd you boys like to play ice hockey?
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Wrangler jeans are soft and comfortable. And they get more soft and comfortable every time you wash them. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
Wrangler jeans. Perfect when you're training your dog. Or when your dog is training you. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
An accident involving Todd Bodine, Mike Skinner, and Jerry Nadeau brings out the caution. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
And Mark Martin is in, guys. Mark was reporting the car a little bit loose. 4 tires and fuel. He's down and away. Bobby Labonte's out second. Rusty Wallace also made a chassis adjustment. Matt?
The 18 car, Bobby Labonte, made it up to second place, just like in the spring race. With 100 laps to go, he is in the top 3. His car was very tight. They went 2 rounds up on the track bar, 4 tires. Now let's go to Steve Burns.
Well, Matt Kenseth came in, and it looks like they're going to lose some positions on that pit stop. They had a problem on the left rear. Don't know if the lug nuts got stripped or not, but nonetheless, a little bit slow on the left rear, so Matt Kenseth will lose some positions here on pit road.
But still plenty of time to get himself closer to the front. Of course, the fuel question now totally out the window because all of the teams on the lead lap have made their pit stops here at lap 316, and obviously no problem going the distance. There is the aftermath of all that took place out at turn number 3. Mike Skinner drove away and took his Lowe's machine directly to the garage area, while Jerry Nadeau right there and Todd Bodine will be towed on to the garage. Nadeau right there running in 8th at the time. Looks like Scooby's all upset there on the front. They had a good run going. Had a good run.
Tremendous amount of fluids out of these race cars. They're going to have to use a lot of stay dry to get all this off the racing surface.
Let's take a look at what happened up in turn 3, just as we were going to break before.
That's Todd Bodine right there in big trouble, backing back up in front of Nadeau there. You see Mike Skinner had nowhere to go into 31 as they get all together there. A lot of damage to all 3 cars.
Everybody else does a good job to get by. Again, watch it here.
Looks like Todd tangled with the 23, Jimmy Spencer. Oh, hard hit.
And there was nothing Nadeau could have done. I mean, not a thing.
Nope.
Or Mike Skinner. That's sometimes just where you're at on the racetrack. That gets you in it.
Here's what Darrell Waltrip saw. Whoa!
That Nemechek on the inside that just blew through there.
Like Buddy says, sometimes you're in the right spot. Todd Bodine in this instance had problems, and the other fellows had nowhere to go. This has been a good racetrack for Todd over the years. 3 Busch Series wins. There's Jeremy Mayfield, who did remain ahead of the race leader. Remember when he was on the tail end of the lead lap before? So he is now running in the 9th spot and has gotten his lead lap position secure. Let's get an update.
Well, guys, I was just going to point that very thing out. And you know what? When he went by Mark Martin and got that lap back, he absolutely drove off and left everybody. He was by far the quickest car on the racetrack at that time. Richard Petty just came by and gave me a raspberry. But Jeremy may well be a spoiler. I tell you, he had an awfully quick race car.
Well, this time yesterday is when we had final practice, right around 3 o'clock Eastern time. And as we told you in that final practice, Jeremy Mayfield was 5th quickest of everyone, though obviously his qualifying spot had him back in 28th. Time now for our AutoZone Tech Fact, brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Here's Ray Evernham.
Something we haven't talked about in a while is driver fire safety. And we need to go back and have a look at that because there have been so many improvements in that area. Now, everybody knows a driver wears a fire suit. Years ago, this was basically a coverall. Now it's made of a material called Nomex that was designed specifically to be flame retardant. Underneath of his fire suit, driver wears fireproof underwear, more insulation from the flame. He has shoes that are fire resistant. He has fire resistant gloves, and the inside of his helmet is also made of Nomex. Now, he can do all of these things for himself, but there's also many things that we can do for him inside the car. Inside the car, we have an onboard fire system. In the event of a fire, Jeff Gordon would have to pull a handle, which would discharge the fire bottle, spraying him with chemical over his right shoulder and under the dashboard, extinguishing the flames. Now, even though we've seen some flash fires in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, we've not seen any injuries due to technology like this.
Interesting update from Ray Evernham as you see Jerry Nadeau's car being pulled away. Remember some of those old pictures of Junior Johnson and some of those guys in just a T-shirt, basically.
Yeah, you're fixing to say I'm Buddy Baker. Yeah, I did race
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Well, this is going to make the cleanup a good bit worse here.
Venting all sorts of fluid. So cleanup will continue for a while longer. We'll take care of some business. With 80 miles, 80 laps of racing yet to go, Mark Martin leads as he has most of the day.
This is for
Anyone who looks at things differently.
This is for the green light.
This is for Saturday night.
This is for people who want to be noticed.
This is for your dreams.
This is Pontiac driving excitement.
Now, drive more of it at the Pontiac 98 sell-down with 0.9% APR financing or up to $2,750 cash back on select 98 models. More reason than ever to see all the great 98 sell-down values at your Pontiac dealer today.
This is for me. For me.
When you get heartburn, indigestion, and pain, don't get these to relieve all your symptoms. When pain this bad grabs you, don't grab these for complete or fast relief. Problems this bad need the 100% solution. Alka-Seltzer, the only one with effervescent power to speed relief and medicines for all your symptoms. Heartburn and pain are no problem with the 100% solution, Alka-Seltzer. And try the best tasting Alka-Seltzers ever, cherry and lemon lime.
Better Light, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, World of Outlaws, IRL, and a major sponsor of NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 800-800-1230. Radio communications are provided by Racing Radios. For all your racing communications needs as well as scanners, call on Racing Radios at 1-800-669-1522. And by LA West Luxury Vans. LA West vans are available at select Ford dealerships nationwide. Call us at 800-786-VANS.
Track cleanup now underway here at the Monster Mile, Dover International Speedway. Of course, they have horse racing here much of the year, so those gentlemen have a good bit of experience cleaning things up off the track.
No, he didn't say that.
No, I'm pretty sure he didn't.
No, I didn't hear it either. No. But we saw all that fluid they were putting down, a lengthy cleanup out there. As a matter of fact, they have the jet blower out there now up against the outside wall to try and help remove all the excess speedy dry. There you see Kenseth losing the 3 positions the guys were telling you about earlier down on the pit lane. The others
picks up a couple.
Yeah. Steve, let's go back to the Matt Kenseth pit stop now. This is the big story today, running in 8th place. So give us the full detail.
Eli, I noticed they were having problems on the left rear, and in fact, they had a lug nut that got stuck in the air gun as they were removing the lug nut, so that's what slowed them down. They finally got it off and then got the replacement tire back on, but it was a lug nut that got caught up in the air gun.
So that's the update there. Matt Kenseth running in the 8th spot. Ward Burton's car had stopped on the racetrack, and they have pushed it around to the pit area, and the crew right there going to work. Of course, Ward Burton, as we had mentioned earlier, with a new crew chief here today, Tommy Baldwin Jr. Starting with that racing team, having taken over at the start of this racing week. There's Jeff Bodine with his power steering problems. Back on pit road, running in 15th. There's Ted Musgrave. While we continue with track cleanup, time for us to bring you the Home Depot driver profile. Ted Musgrave is the subject. Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning. Since 1994, Ted Musgrave was part of Jack Roush's operation. That marriage ended a month ago, but the timing of the separation wasn't all that bad.
Actually, I think it turned out on a good note for both of us because it gives me time to go out and talk to potential sponsors and car owners and crews and go out and run some cars that I wouldn't have been able to drive before. But that's just more or less helping out a situation of a hurt driver or void as far as maybe the driver left and there's nothing going on. They need to keep that sponsor happy. So I'm filling in that areas. But at the same token, like I say, you know, keeping my eyes open for 1999.
Indeed, Musgrave's experience has allowed him to become NASCAR's super sub, driving that car number 13 today. And indeed, experience is a valuable asset to have.
I think that's why people wanted me to fill in a lot, just to try and see what's wrong with the team. If it's not performing well, is it the equipment, is it driver, what is going on here? And I've filled in some seats, and I've tried to help them, particular people, get some direction. And a lot of them have just thanked me for it, and I thank them for giving me the opportunity to do it, too. So it's kind of a handshake, and I'm glad you were here, and I'm saying glad you gave me the opportunity.
As for 1999, there'll certainly be a home for the always upbeat Ted Musgrave.
I've got to put the pieces together, whether it be a new team with the right chassis, fabrication, engine program, and everything together to make a top 5. There's situations out there where they want me to drive, but I can't fix that type of deal because of maybe different, in-house stuff. So I'm looking at a situation, like I say, where I can take the ingredients that I think could be a top 5 and put that all together. When you get it all together, then you feel good about it.
Well, this is the 5th different car Ted Musgrave has driven this year, and yesterday morning I asked him in the garage area, how long will you be in this car? He looked at his watch.
That's nothing like Dick May, who was in 5 different cars in this one race back in 1975. David Pearson won that race by 7 laps over Cecil Gordon. 5 cars for Dick May, and still didn't finish the 500 miles.
Even at 35 degrees below zero, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
Mobil 1 0W30. Superior protection when you start your car.
I got a story. My brother knew these guys who were going to a dance. So on their way, their car breaks down. That's when they see this beautiful girl.
Can you give me a ride to the dance?
Yeah. It's cold, so she asks to borrow one of their shirts. And the next day, they try to get it back. They go to the same spot they met her.
Boy.
Hello. Your daughter borrowed my shirt
That could have been my daughter. She died 20 years ago.
It's a true story.
Now at Kmart.
It's the race you've waited for all season, and now it's on TNN. Don't miss racing history. Daytona goes under the lights in the Pepsi 400, October 17th at 8 Eastern, only on TNN Motorsports.
NASCAR and Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse both started from humble beginnings. But you made us bigger. You made us better. You made us faster. So consider this a quick thanks. Sure beats the heck out of a thank you card. Lowe's, the official home improvement warehouse of NASCAR and you.
We are back, getting set to go green again. The MBNA Gold 400. Ernie Irvin and Jeremy Mayfield both having gotten their laps back before. So those 10 drivers now on the lead
here
lap.
We go. Here we go, buddy. Here we go. Green, green. Close it up. Green flag, green flag, green flag.
Rodney Wise shows him the green flag. We're back at it. Rusty Wallace likes to say, Mark Martin just launched on everybody. Look at that.
Wow, what a big build up there. About a 7-8 car length lead as they come off turn 4. Bobby Labonte in the green car running in second spot there. Jeff Gordon just behind Steve Park as they head down into turn number 1 there. You see Jeff Gordon right on the bottom. Dale Jarrett just behind him. Rusty Wallace bringing up just behind him.
Spread of just a half second now. Gordon running in third. Jerry Nadeau and Todd Bodine, by the way, just fine. Word we had gotten from down in the garage area. Mike Skinner also involved in that accident. Done for the day. Glenn, you got Jerry Nadeau now, I hear, just coming out of the care center?
Yeah, Eli, you were right. Physically, he's fine. I imagine emotionally and mentally, he's not so fine. Jerry, you had a great car and a great run going. What happened?
We did. It looked like Todd Bodine and Jimmy were smashing each other all the way coming out of turn 2 to turn 3, and Todd finally lost it. I had nowhere to go with the Cartoon Network car. I hate it for all the guys. We had a really good run. I got to say hello to Mark and Harry Melling back in Michigan. Everybody back in Charlotte, Jade, I'm okay. Thanks.
Better luck next week.
And while we were watching the Nadeau interview, you also saw Mayfield right there, number 12, go by the 43 of Andretti to pick up 7th spot.
Also, Matt Kenseth, who was right up in the very front there, at one time running in second place, lost quite a few positions in the 94 car. They're really coming up through traffic right now, really on the move.
He's running in 6th.
Got some lap cars to get by. The 97, Chad Little is a lap down.
Chad's running in 17th spot. Sterling Marlin in the 40.
Jeremy Mayfield right on the bottom of the racetrack. He and Matt Kenseth trying to get by Chad Little as they go down the front straightaway.
Here's where you've got to be ever so careful. You don't want to get involved in an accident of any sort, but by the same token, you don't want to let these guys hold you up.
Boy, Park a lap down and Gordon on the lead lap, both going right around the Johnny Benson car before.
Dale Jarrett now looks to the inside of Gordon as they come off turns 4 up there.
And we've got caution on the speedway. Caution on the speedway as well. We've got problems on the 46 of Jeff Green, who has apparently been putting down some fluid. He was off the track, then came back on the track, and now the 46 right there, apparently the reason for this caution. So lap 333. We are back under caution for the 7th time today. Riding with Darrell Waltrip now. DW having a decent run. He's in 20th spot right now. Yeah, 3 laps down, but he's been running a solid day today.
He says as the season goes on, he's going to do better and better. They've got a crew at home right now as this broadcast is on, getting the car ready for Martinsville. They've had a lot of guys working until 3 o'clock in the morning building race cars and getting them right for Darrell.
He said next week will be his first new car that he built in his race shop that he's going to use.
Right, and they were behind in the engine program as well with all the changes that occurred. Everybody else has got the new SB2 engines, and Darrell really didn't have those built. Well, they're working on that as well. So a lot of effort has gone into getting Darrell Waltrip back where he belongs, further up in the field.
Darrell winning here twice, back in 1980 and 1982. And again, the
when I looked up, he was right there when they threw it. I couldn't tell for sure one way or another.
Oil out of Jeff Green's car, bringing out this caution flag, the 7th one of the day. Now, John Andretti and Ernie Irvin are electing to make pit stops. We're riding with Andretti. Lap 336. They'll give up limited track time or track position.
Eli, the reason they're doing that is they were on the tail end of the lead lap. So come in, get fresh tires, maybe get an advantage, go back out. You get to go right back up because you're the only cars on the lead lap. The worst he can finish is exactly where he was running.
Exactly.
Well, Andretti had been 6th spot before that, so he's going to lose a couple of spots, but he's going to have some good fresh tires on that car to help him pick up the spots that he just lost.
Let's check in with Glenn down on pit road.
Hey guys, we're just at the entrance of pit road down here into the garage area, and the reason that caution came out was Jeff Green. He was leaking oil. If you'll look, get the camera to show right along here, Jeff Green just came by just a few moments ago, and that was what was pouring out of his car. That was also pouring on the racetrack. Now, Jeff didn't do it on purpose. He didn't even know it was happening, but that was the cause for the caution flag.
And if you're new to the sport, that might look like an insignificant little stream, but, buddy, you go over that at high speed, and you got yourself a handful and then something.
You hit that at 180 miles an hour turning in the corner. It feels like it's 10 foot wide when you hit it.
So we are under caution. Give us a chance to break away and take care of some business. 336, so 400 laps on the board. It's still Mark Martin leading, as it has been virtually since the get-go.
This is NASCAR. This is you. And this is us. Hot Wheels Pro Racing will get you this close to the action with Hot Wheels Pro Racing Die-Cast. The best of NASCAR in 3 scales. The Legend Series, unsurpassed detail in 64th scale. And Legends to Life with real racing motion and digital sound. If they drive it, we make it. On the track, off the track, in the pits. Investment quality collectibles. Because to get them right on this scale, you gotta race them on this one. We're Hot Wheels.
Duralube Advanced Engine Treatment protects your car's motor like no other product can. Sure, there are imitators. Hey, we're flattered by it. But remember, when it comes to protecting your car's engine, independent tests prove nothing compares to Duralube. Duralube, tomorrow's technology today. Duralube,
imitated but never duplicated.
Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast, Milwaukee's best.
It's amazing, but I feel like I'm finally free.
Pep Boys, great feeling, great prices. Like Autolite spark plugs, only 59 cents each.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Ryan Pemberton is the crew chief for Ernie Irvin. His driver is now on the lead lap in ninth. Got his lead lap back a short while ago, as we documented. Hey, you're right back in the hunt. Matt Yoakum down on pit road.
Well, Eli, we've caught up with Jimmy Maycar. There was almost an earthquake down here. When the cars came to the caution, Jimmy, you guys were a little bit upset. What was the reason?
Well, at the last 3 or 4 cautions, Marks jumped on the brakes and tried to let one of his teammates get by, and Bobby's all but wrecked him, run over him. We've about got wrecked from behind. It's causing havoc on the racetrack, and we're really afraid that somebody's going to run over us and cause a big old wreck. And, you know, running good as we are, I mean, I just don't think that's necessary. I think it's one of the big problems we're all talking about, this multi-car team having more than 3 or 4 cars trying to make things happen in the race. It's a good example of why it's wrong.
Definitely they were upset. They've moved into second place. The 18 car is the best car on the concrete here at Dover to never win a race. Now let's go to Steve Burns.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We looked at Ryan Pemberton a moment ago, the crew chief on the 36 car. Now, Ernie Irvin and John Andretti just came down pit road moments ago. I asked Ryan why they would make the stop, and he said, well, basically, we have nothing to lose. We're one of the last cars on the lead lap, so I just wanted to free the car up for Ernie Irvin. Let's check in now with Glenn Jarrett.
Okay, thanks, Steve. I'm down in Mark Martin's pits, and Jimmy Finnegan, the guys, are a little bit upset down here, not with the 18 car so much as they are with NASCAR. We showed you that oil that came out of Jeff Green's car a while ago. Well, they contend that there's still oil on the racetrack in the groove, and it hasn't been cleaned off yet. So they're pleading with NASCAR to send somebody out there. NASCAR has looked at the track. They think it's okay. We're getting ready to go green. Anyway, Mark says the car is perfect.
The 1-to-go signal has been given to the crew chiefs. The drivers will get the indication as they come to the start-finish line. So we are about set to go back to green flag racing here the next time by. And there's Rodney Wise, backed up by Jimmy Howell on the flag stand. Those two fellows on the flag stand swap around the flagging responsibilities virtually week to week. Sometimes they'll go 2 weeks at a time and then swap out. Just wrapping up our 7th caution. Some 47 laps of yellow, 47 miles of caution today.
You see them wiggling the cars around. What they're doing, they're cleaning the running part of the tire off to get all the debris they can get off of it, because going around here slow, it'll pick up an inch of rubber that's on the racing surface itself, so you have to clean it off the tires so they'll hold when you go down the corner under power.
By the way, if you listen very carefully in the background, you can hear Bob Fry clearing his throat right now. He is set to host the Pioneer Keystone Nationals, the NHRA Winston Drag Racing set over in Reading, Pennsylvania, Maple Grove Raceway. Bob Fry and Steve Evans, the whole crew, set to bring it to you live 5 p.m. Eastern Time today, right here on TNN Motorsports.
I knew that was going somewhere.
You've never heard Bob clear his throat? It really is a most melodic presentation.
Green flag, green flag.
Kept up with Mark Martin on the start. Remember last restart, he had about 15 car lengths lead, but now Mike Skinner's back on the racetrack. He is 31 laps down after the accident of earlier, but if you're a Mike Skinner fan, he is back out there. Andretti's at 10th. Obviously well back in traffic after that extra pit stop he made at lap 336.
Steve Park there running along in second on the racetrack is a lot down right now. As Bobby Labonte and the other cars catch up to him, I'm sure he'll give them the racing groove and let them by.
Park is in 11th. Labonte is second. Gordon third. Wallace fourth. Jarrett is fifth. Kenseth is sixth. Mayfield seventh. Ernie Irvin is eighth. And boy, he cut it close, but he made the pass work, didn't Jeff Gordon?
Yeah, he sure did.
In the second spot.
Bobby Labonte is so good at this Dover racetrack. He's got 5 top 5s here in his last 7 starts. He won the Busch race here in the spring of 1997. Runs this place ever so well.
And made his first career Winston Cup start here back in 1991.
Rusty Wallace right now in good position just behind Bobby Labonte there. Just behind him, you see the 88 car of Dale Jarrett. I would imagine Rusty right now would love to get up there and stop this drought that he's in. 54 races, if I'm not mistaken, since he last went in the winner's circle.
That is the longest drought since he first came on the series. He didn't win until his 72nd start when he first showed up in Winston Cup. Not counting that, this is the longest drought he's had.
But since that last win, he's had 5 seconds, 7 thirds. He's led 25 times. He is so overdue to win one of these things.
There you see Mike Skinner on the low side of the track. I told you he's back out there now. Radar gun saw 167 go by, a 168. That's trucking in a mile.
You know, I was just watching those cars go by. There's no such thing as a slow car. When we say that, we do not imply that they're really slow. What they are is just not up to what the guy leading the race is. You could tell by that shot just a second ago. And here's Kendrick, who has fought all day long to get back into good race contention there. Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 just behind him.
That's for 5th place right there.
Kenseth's not giving up.
No.
Coming right back at him. Yeah, slow here is about 142, 143 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's when we say slow car, we certainly don't imply they're running slow. But look at Jeremy Mayfield taking a look on the inside of Kenseth there with all the way up on the quarter pound coming through the corner. Thought better of it, backed out just a little bit.
Now off the low side of the track, Mayfield has it. Jarrett settles back in line.
You see Jarrett's car unable to stay on the low side of the racetrack. He's losing ground, getting into the corner. Through the center part of the corner, he starts to gain back what he loses getting in the corner. But right now, I would say Jarrett's car is not handling just like he would like to have it.
And if your picture looks a bit different now than it did, say, 100 or 150 laps ago, don't adjust your set. We have now got a heavy cloud overcast. Doesn't look like it's going to rain. Whoa, did you see Jeremy coming out of the corner?
Remember, too, when it was particularly cloudy earlier, that's when Kenseth really was making some moves.
Jeremy Mayfield in 6th right now. It hadn't been that long ago he was fighting to get back in the lead lap. But, boy, has he made that really capitalize for himself, as he is right now as fast as any car out there, I think.
This racetrack is very different, obviously. Not just its racing surface, but it calls for different things. No drop snout cars out here.
No, they use basically the cars that they run on the mile-and-a-half tracks like Charlotte, Texas, and places like that, where you don't want the roll center to load over on the right front and make it turn too much getting in the corner and throw the back end out.
And some will use the same car here as they'll use at Bristol. Concrete seems to favor these 2 racetracks for one single car. Are we going to get the 2 and 12 nose to tail again, as we've seen all year?
Could well happen.
Yep.
Matt Kenseth come within inches of getting into the turn 2 wall as he started down towards the back straightaway just now. He's got his hands full, but he is really kicking this car around the racetrack.
Mayfield is eating them up there in the corners. Meanwhile, up front, it is better than a second of a lead now for Mark Martin over Jeff Gordon. There you see what it looks like on the racetrack. It is 3 seconds back to Kenseth and Mayfield. Back in the moment.
My cat is my life.
Some people say it's because I'm middle-aged and single, but I say it's because my Mr. Boots is quite a decorator. Once, I saw one of his huge fur balls and thought, what a beautiful shade of beige. It'll look great on my deck. Hi. So I took it to True Value. Can you match this? Then she created a perfect match. There you go. Thank you. I let her keep the fur ball. We don't want to keep that color to ourselves.
Some things are obvious from the start. Like, things turn out better when you work together. That's why the UAW International Union and General Motors Corporation got together to create programs to improve skills and safety, to educate, to promote teamwork and build better quality cars and trucks. Assembly line to finish line. Teamwork wins.
This NASCAR 50th anniversary moment is brought to you by Texaco.
In 1981, New York driver Jeff Bodine introduced power steering to NASCAR's premier division. But for the first time in 1982, a car equipped with power steering went to victory lane. Bobby Allison led 486 of the 500 laps to take the checkered flag at Dover Downs International.
Michael came onto the scene in IndyCars as a winner. I'm very proud of the fact that he's carrying on the Andretti name. I'll never forget the first really competitive pass that he did on me. We banged wheels a little bit, and he was gone. Adios, Dada.
The Andrettis rely on the same Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy right off the shelf.
That's my boy.
And for your cooling system, get Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze from Texaco.
Today on TNN Motorsports. It's the closest points battle in years, and time is running out.
It's going down to the wire.
The pressure builds as NHRA's top drivers take their best shots. A thousandth of a second could mean the difference between winning a title and losing a race. You don't want to miss the Pioneer Keystone Nationals today at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
And it's all right here on TNN Motorsports.
Mark Martin has led 338 of the 360 laps that we have run already today. That is what you call domination. 40 miles from the finish, the lead is 1 2/10 seconds.
Eli, I was just looking at the car. I think he's offline maybe a quarter of an inch from the 100 miles back. Right here's the race. Look at Jeremy Mayfield move in on teammate Rusty Wallace. You could see right there they were less than a car length apart.
There's the full field look. You can see your favorites come by. There's Dale Earnhardt going by. I'm not talking much about him. He's 3 laps down in 21st position.
He struggled here the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Earnhardt just has not been fast from the time they unloaded until right now. He has been fast, however, from the time he unloaded until right now. Mark Martin has absolutely been strong this entire weekend at Dover.
Now we go further back. You'll see the 2 and the 12 again. Goes Mateo, Wallace in 4th, Mayfield in 5th.
And 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there. And it looks to me like Bobby Labonte is having a time holding these guys off. But Mayfield right now a little bit quicker than Rusty as he looks to the inside as they head down into turn 1. I'm not sure his car is not sticking just a little bit tighter in the corner there. You can see Rusty right now. He's got his hands full.
Well, the practice sessions ended yesterday, and I took a look, and there's Jeremy Mayfield and Rusty Wallace talking together. And I took a look a little bit further down, and there's Paul Andrews and Robin Pemberton talking together. The 2 crew chiefs, the 2 drivers all debriefing. These guys really do behave as a team should behave to get the most out of their relationship.
When you test with those guys, buddy, as we told the folks who tested with them on Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, when all 3 of you are there, when Rusty and Jeremy and yourself, does everybody get into each other's car? I mean, or does Rusty just do the 2 and Jeremy just the 12, and you are the floater back and forth between the 2 teams?
Eli, what they do actually is they compare notes all the way through the whole test, but Rusty wasn't allowed to be there. That was a Jeremy Mayfield test this past week. Now, back in December when I tested with both of them, I tried every one of the cars out myself just to make sure that my information back and forth was the same as theirs. And really, the feedback was pretty good between these 2 guys. they absolutely believe in each other as far as what they like in the race car. Both of them like the same thing.
Interesting to hear. That's the way you're right, the way a team should work. Lap 366. Fuel is not a problem. Would have been a question mark earlier, but we've had some later in the afternoon caution periods. Only 7 Dover races have ever been won from the Bud pole. That's 7 of 57. It could well be 8 of 58 before this day is done.
All right, you got the list on you?
Yeah, I got the list right here.
We're going to Napa. It's the best place for parts.
Fine. You know what? If I ran Napa, here's what I would do. I would widen the aisles a little bit. I would put a brand new sign so it'd make things easy to find.
All right.
Okay. And I'd have a state-of-the-art computer system to be able to find those parts like that.
Okay, but you've got to admit you can't beat Napa for the knowledge. I mean, they carry more parts than anybody.
I agree.
Oh, you agree for a change?
Yes, for a change. All I'm saying is they should fix the stores up a little. Wow. Now I could live with this.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the MBNA Gold 400 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. And by Cotton Incorporated. Cotton, the fabric of our lives. We are back. Mark Martin still showing the way. 30 laps from the finish. His lead is now 9/10 of a second. So it varies by a tenth here and there, but basically Gordon's not really able to cut into Mark's lead significantly.
Eli, you're exactly right. It just depends on how Mark Martin catches lap traffic, and when he gets a good run around the racetrack, he's still the fastest car out there. Jeff Gordon hasn't given up, though. He's running his heart out right now.
Oh, Mark Martin still running well, as we've told you, leading now better than 350 laps. There's Jeff Gordon. He is running in the second spot. He did leave 5 laps early and then some 7 laps middle of the race, so he's picked up bonus points today towards his quest for another NASCAR Winston Cup championship. There you see that championship showdown over the last 16 races. Average finish for both is awfully impressive. Isn't that something?
Wow.
You know, Martin's kind of given Jeff Gordon a taste of his own medicine today. Mark Martin has finished second to Jeff Gordon 4 times this year. It just seems that repeatedly Gordon leads the most laps. Today, Gordon's get a chance to get a good look at Mark Martin's back bumper as he runs in second spot. And this will be, if it wound up this way, be the first time Gordon did finish second to Mark Martin when the checkers falls.
There you see the current point standings as of this very moment. The big loser of the day and all of that is Jeff Burton, who is already in the garage. He was 5th when the day began, point standings-wise. Well, that last time, Gordon picked up some distance because of traffic. There you see Rusty Wallace. He's running in 4th behind Bobby Labonte, trying to break that 54-race winless streak. They continue on to the short tracks next week, and on from there, you never know.
Steve Parker, that yellow car just went out of your screen on the left side, has done a great job of hanging in there. He's a lap down, but after this restart, he has just really not lost much ground at all, sticking right with the leaders.
And has not had to yield to David Green either.
Nope.
After that big accident at Homestead early in the week, testing there. You kind of get the idea he was going to go the distance.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
He's been awfully sore.
He said this morning he really wanted to run the whole thing.
There's the 88. Dale Jarrett back in 7th. He's 9 1/10 seconds behind the race leader, Mark Martin. That one lap 377. Matt, he's turning some good speeds, but nobody can hang with Martin.
Well, the problem for Dale Jarrett is twofold. First, the car has developed a really bad push. They've been going back and forth. First it was loose on one run, then it's back to tight, and now it's tight again. The second problem, he's developed a vibration. Not exactly sure what the vibration is. It might just be a wheel weight, but all their minds this weekend, though, has been on their all-pro machinist, James Lutter, who's back in the hospital. He's had a stroke and a heart attack. He's watching the race from his hospital room in Mercy Hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina. Folks, he was an all-pro machinist for every single year they handed out the award. That was over a decade that they handed out the award, but really, he's just an all-around world person.
Really is. Luter's a dandy. Really is.
Luter was the machinist on the 28 car that I was lucky enough to be able to drive to the Daytona 500. Luter, we're all thinking about you. Get well, pal.
Definitely.
And you know what? They gave him room 24, and he tried to bribe him into changing his room so he could have room 28 instead. He really did.
Sounds like Luter.
Yep. So some of the team came in with some new numbers, and they reconfigured the room. So, Luter, you're now in room 28.
We are at lap 380. 20 laps to go. There's Terry Labonte in his 600th start. 3 laps down, running in 18th place today. Trying to button up some of the stories we had talked about when we signed on the air back at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. First, Dale Earnhardt, the other driver, in his 600th start. There he is, 4 laps down in 23rd position.
They made a lot of changes on the chassis on this car, and they didn't work today.
So we're getting towards the finish. 19 miles to go. Bobby Hamilton's gone a lap down in 10th, and now just 9 teams remain on the lead lap.
Sleek, sophisticated, stylish, and yet with an exhilarating V6. Chevy Monte Carlo lets you express that hidden part of your personality, just dying to get out.
Mr. Freeman.
How are you?
Tommy.
Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
Cut. Kit Kat break time. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. I want to take a break with that Kit Kat bar.
Are the parts here pretty good?
That'll work.
For quality parts, go to the pros. It's the race you've waited for all season, and now it's on TNN. Don't miss racing history. Daytona goes under the lights in the Pepsi 400, October 17th at 8 Eastern, only on TNN Motorsports.
He is an American icon. He has sold more than any other. He is fast cars. He is rock and roll. He is the king.
Hey, watch it, baby.
The Brake King. Run into the one and only Brake King for quality fast service. No appointment necessary. Jefferson Avenue, Newport News.
Can't stop. Run in the Brake King.
If you've been injured, we'd like to help. Yes, we'd like to help. Joe's Duluth, attorney at law, is the one to know.
If you've been injured due to someone's negligence, you need the support of an experienced attorney. Joe Duluth is the one to know.
Joe Duluth is the one to know.
No change in the running order in the MBNA Gold 400. The leader, Mark Martin, Gordon, Labonte. Mayfield now has made a move around Rusty Wallace, so he'll take over 4th. Rusty goes back to 5th. Matt Kenseth is 6th. That's a pretty good scramble there. Mayfield trying to grab 3rd place away. And look at that move by Kenseth. He and Rusty Wallace scrambling for 5th.
He wants that position very bad as you see him coming off turn 2. He pulls up beside Rusty. Rusty kind of comes over and says, it isn't going to be easy if you get by me, but hey, I'll tell you what, Matt Kenseth, no matter where he finishes, he should be proud of a great run today.
NASCAR's dancing just a little bit here down the final stages. Tires beginning to wear down just a bit.
See, Kenseth has a little more steam right in the center part of the corner. If he can get under Rusty and pull even with him, I think he has the mustard to get him.
Look at this. Mayfield got by Bobby Labonte.
That was for 4th spot that they had. Grabs 3rd now, does Mayfield. Right behind him, Kenseth. Did he hang on against Rusty Wallace?
Right here is where he's strong, but he's on the low side and can't get a great run up. Rusty will pull back beside of him, side by side, down the back straightaway.
10 miles to go.
Here comes Kenseth again. He's not going to give up either.
What a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, that's 2 great drivers right there. When I say that, Kenseth has proved how well he can drive today.
Can you imagine how good this Kenseth kid is going to be when he gets some experience? Oh, boy.
What that did, though, that brought Dale Jarrett right up on the back of Kenseth now.
From 1st place, Martin, to 2nd place, Gordon is still a second. Then it is 9 seconds further back to these guys right here. They're a total of 10 seconds back of the race leader, so there's no chance they have to catch Mark Martin. Right now, they're just roaring about each other.
Well, there's only 8 laps to go, but I tell you what, Kenseth's going to give it another try, and he's even going to try it on the outside of Rusty Wallace.
Wow.
Whoa, baby.
Oh, I don't think so.
Didn't force the issue.
No. One thing to be smart, another to be fast. If you're both, it's twice as good.
Well, he's real good in 3 and 4. You can see Rusty can hold on in 1 and 2. If Kenseth is going to get him, it's going to be in this turn right here in 3 and 4.
You bet Bobby Labonte's glad they're fighting with each other. He may not have to deal with it if they continue this.
Up front, Martin has now put a little more coal on the fire. He's 1 3/10 seconds ahead of Gordon. As we watch this battle here, middle of the field, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Labonte in the 5, they're going very, very high. His car has not worked at all today. He's been off pace all day long.
Now it's 1 4/10 seconds from Martin back to Gordon. And then 11 seconds from the front 2 back to Mayfield, Labonte, Wallace, and the rest. There you see the relationship.
You just know Gordon has been driving his heart out trying to close that distance. Has not been able to do it. Well, this is still going on.
Must be a good battle right down to the finish.
Yep.
Wallace in 5th, Kenseth in 6th.
Still trying that outside, Doctor, but it's not working for him. Rusty has his car where he can get back in the throttle pretty well in turns 1 and 2. In the past, this is the end that Kenseth has been the strongest, but he's beginning to wash out just a little bit. I think he leaned on those tires just a little bit much there. Boy, does he ever go down the straightaway.
Sure does.
Meanwhile, it will be the white flag for Mark Martin as he gets set to come out of turn number 4 and head to the stripe. There he is, starting on the Bud pole today. The 76 bonus is $22,800 if you win the race starting from the pole. It would be Mark's 2nd straight win from the pole in this MBNA Gold 400. His 28th career win. Mark Martin looking for checkers. They fly for him here at the Monster Mile. Jimmy Fennick, you and the guys did it nicely. Gordon 2nd after leading 379 laps of 400. Mark Martin's going to victory lane. Mayfield 3rd, Labonte 4th, Rusty Wallace 5th, Kenseth will finish 6th, Jarrett is 7th, Ernie Irvin is 8th, 9th is John Andretti. Those 9 on the lead lap. 10th place going to Bobby Hamilton. Good solid run all the way around. Jimmy Fennig and the fellas preparing a magnificent race car here this weekend.
If I've ever watched a car do well for the whole distance in the race, it was Mark Martin today. Wow.
Only 21 laps did they fail to lead today. Doesn't get a whole lot more dominating than that. Victory lane when we come back.
Wrangler jeans are the perfect jeans to wear when you're going out for a little seafood with your best buddy. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Wrangler jeans, perfect when you're training your dog or when your dog is training you. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of high-performance additives and cleaners. A complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetic molecules that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits.
Fuel and air mixture, a go.
So your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have it.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road.
You never know what your next job is going to be. One day it's a house, the next it's a hotel.
Jobs keep getting bigger, deadlines keep getting shorter.
It's got to last 1,000,000 years. Stand up to anything.
Turnaround times, they're insane.
Whatever it is, wherever it is, make something great. Stanley.
Didn't use AC Delco rapid fire spark plugs? They'll give you quicker throttle response and smoother idle, no matter what you drive. AC Delco. If you're not asking for it, you're asking for it.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the MBNA Gold 400 is being brought to you by Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right. And by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
And we're back in victory lane here at Dover. A victorious Mark Martin climbs out. What a dominating performance here today. Well, I think you said all but 21 laps this man led. To the cheers of the team. And, hey, buddy, you earned your paycheck today. But we heard you on the radio say at one time that that may be the best race car you've ever driven.
Well, I tell you what, I know my dad's watching today, and he's one proud peacock up there, I tell you what. Arlene and Matt, I wish you could be there. This win is Jimmy Fennig, Sean Parker, and all the people on this Valvoline Cummins Eagle One team. The car was incredible. I mean, I don't know if I've ever driven a Busch car and beat the field that bad, I tell you. It was just a lot of fun, and I just want to thank again all the fans for all their support, all their prayers, and all the love that they've shown for me. And also I want to say, Bill, if you're watching, we're praying for you, and we're real sorry.
Well, thanks, Mark. Congratulations on a great run. We'll let you catch your breath now. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Thank you very much, Glenn, with Jeff Gordon, who's just climbed from his car. Jeff, describe your run today. Wasn't a win, but a second's pretty good in the points race.
I was pretty happy with it. You know, we had as good a car as we could get. You know, there at the end, that was the best that the car had been all day long. But you got to congratulate Mark Martin and Jimmy Finney and all those guys on that team. They did a heck of a job. They just had us beat. You know, I want to thank DuPont Automotive Finishes and Quaker State and Pepsi and Goodyear. Everybody had a good tire. The Chevrolet was running strong today. It just wasn't enough to beat that number 6 car.
Jeff Ray was pretty hot about the incident when they black flagged you on about lap 250. Your thoughts on the incident?
Well, I think we're going to have to ask NASCAR. I've never heard of anything like that before. You know, we didn't do anything to the fenders. I did get hit or knocked into somebody on the right side and, you know, caved in the right side. I don't think it bent anything out, but you know, I don't know. We're going to talk to him and ask him exactly what the deal was. And, you know, we're just lucky to come out of that okay because we got back there and could have got caught up with some lap cars, and you know, it changed the handling of the car and kind of got us off of our adjustments, but we came back and finished second. We're happy with that. Great run. Thank you.
Our post-race interviews brought to you by The Money Store, where you can refinance your home and consolidate your debts with just one phone call. Mark Martin's our winner. More from Dover in a moment.
Hold it, Harry. You know you can't use Duraloop fuel treatment in your Indy car. It's an unfair advantage.
I'm not allowed to use this product in my Indy car, but in my road car, I want the Duraloop advantage.
Duraloop is scientifically formulated to clean, condition, and protect your fuel system for a smoother running engine with more power and less harmful emissions. Duraloop fuel treatment, tomorrow's technology today.
It's good to know that in an era of superstars, big corporate sponsorships, and network TV deals, there's an organization that also cares about fairness and sportsmanship, that realizes its fans are the sole reason for its success, and knows it should never go so fast that it can't slow down if there's a good enough reason. This is NASCAR, and this is the way we've done things for 50 years.
At Pep Boys, our ASE certified technicians will install Ray Vestas lifetime brakes for as low as $59.99 after rebate.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
How geologist Ted Barton eats a Reese's Crunchy Cookie Cup.
First, I take a core sample. Next, I examine the strata. And then I digest the findings.
Chocolate, peanut butter, and a cookie. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's Crunchy Cookie Cup.
Back with you here at Dover International Speedway. Mark Martin has picked up another victory, his 6th win of 1998. The most races he has ever won in a single season. There you see the Miller Lite Pit Crew of the Race Award, sponsored by Miller Lite. To remind you that every Miller Lite is sold ready to drink. Jimmy Fennick is the recipient.
And here we go. Jimmy, congratulations, man. Great work on that car. On behalf of Miller Lite and TNN Motorsports, I want to present you with the Pit Crew Award plaque. What an awesome race car.
I'll tell you, it was a good one today. Mark did an excellent job, and the whole Valvoline crew did a good job on some of our pit stops. So it was a pretty good car today.
I say it was a pretty good job all the way around. Take this plaque, hang it on the wall, man. Congratulations. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Well, Matt Kenseth, your first Winston Cup start. Congratulations, an outstanding effort, 6th place.
Yeah, we ran pretty good. The McDonald's Ford, handled really good all day. I probably didn't call for quite the right adjustments there. In the middle of the race when I was running second to Mark, we were running the same lap times, were just a little tight. So I wanted to free it up. We got a little too loose, and then we came back to being pretty good again. But them guys at the end of the race stepped on the gas. In the middle of the race, I think he was just leaving me where he wanted me. And, everybody made the right adjustments. And then they have a lot more experience in long races and kind of took off and left me. But I'm glad we got a good run for the Bill Elliott number 94 car, and I hope they're doing all right at home.
Well, congratulations. Eli?
Classy young driver with one whale of a future ahead of him. Matt Kenseth came home in 6th. We'll have the full rundown, look at the points. Back to wrap it all up from Dover right after these messages.
Nobody loves cars more than I do. Each one is a work of art. So when the maker of all these chose a new antifreeze, it got my attention.
General Motors now uses the deck school technology of Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze in virtually all its new vehicles. The same patented formula you can use in your car for 5 years or 150,000 miles. So do what GM did. Switch to Haviland.
I use it in my car. I only wish this were it.
Rusty, it's a woodchuck and he's hurt.
Rusty, it's up to you.
for
anyone who looks at things differently.
This is for the green light.
This is for Saturday night.
This is for people who want to be noticed.
This is for your dreams.
This is Pontiac driving excitement.
Now, drive more of it at the Pontiac 98 sell-down with 0.9% APR financing or up to $2,750 cash back on select 98 models. More reason than ever to see all the great 98 sell-down values at your Pontiac dealer today.
This is for me. For me.
TNN Motorsports live coverage from the Monster Mile has been brought to you by Texaco. Texaco, a world of energy. By Miller Lite, who remind you that every Miller Lite is sold ready to drink. By the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. And by First Plus Financial. At First Plus, you don't need equity, you just need a home. Well, let's take a look at where everybody came on home here today. Matt Kenseth in 6th. Good run, top to bottom. John Andretti, Bobby Hamilton, a great effort. Steve Park banged up. Looking at Jeff Bodine without that power steering. He came home in 14th today.
Boy, that's a great job because that's hard to drive it when the power steering goes out.
Darrell Waltrip in 21st. Earnhardt, you see there in 23rd position. There are some of the fellows who had problems earlier. Kenny Irwin taken to the local hospital here, responding, though complaining of some shoulder pain and so on. They'll be checking him over here at Kent General Hospital. And there you see the fellows who dropped out of the event early today. There is the Texaco Haviland Point recap, and it shows you the spread. And look at the fall for Jeff Burton today, guys. Dick, he was 5th when the day began.
Yeah, all the way back down to 7th now, 780 out. Tough day for Jeff Burton.
Jeff Gordon, though, 194 points. Only a pickup of 10 points today for one position, plus leading the most laps in the case of Mark Martin. But that's going to wrap up a busy weekend here at the Monster Mile. Glad you've been able to spend some time with us. Buddy Baker and Dick Berggren alongside me up here in the booth throughout this weekend. Of course, down on the pit lane and in the garage area, Glenn Jarrett, Steve Burns, and Matt Yoakum. Want to remind you, coming up in just about an hour from now, the points battle continuing for the NHRA and the Pioneer Keystone Nationals in Reading, Pennsylvania. That's 5 o'clock Eastern today. Bob Fry to host it all for you. Here we congratulate Mark Martin, winning the MBNA Gold 400. I'm Eli Gold. So long from Dover.
TNN, America's country home, is a service of CBS Cable. Race Day, next on TNN Motorsports.
Green flag. They're basically 2x2, but...
On October 17th, Daytona will never be the same.
While some off-road tires may take you there, Coopers are designed to also bring you back. Cooper, your next set of tires.
GEX, the area's Cooper tire store with locations in Hampton and Newport News, featuring free mounting, free computer balancing, free air valves, free rotations, and free flat repairs on every tire sold. Look to GEX for your next set of tires.
Today on race day, the Winston Cuppers survived 400 tough miles at Dover. The Cup title challenger ends up making it look easy. The NHRA Warriors searching for speed in Pennsylvania. We'll preview the finals of the Keystone Nationals coming up in an hour here. And NASCAR's Busch Series runners do Delaware on a Saturday. And the youngster had the dominant machine. Hey, time for us to fire them up. It is Sunday, September the 20th, 1998, and this is Race Day. Well, good afternoon, good race day to you. I'm Rick Benjamin. We're the beef, you might say, at a live motorsports sandwich here on TNN today. It is good to have you with us following the running of the MBNA Platinum 400, which you just saw live here on TNN Motorsports for the Winston Cup stars. Many have found great success on the Monster Mile, among them Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin, who would be up front early on today. And Jeff Gordon was a story early, too. He would move from 6th up to 2nd, but Mark Martin would be the dominant force of the afternoon. Bizarre caution here, lap 85. Buckshot Jones blows a motor. While the yellow's out, Jeff and Ward Burton tangle. Ted Musgrave spins and hits them. All are okay, but damaged. Clean and green then through 170 miles. Hardest lick of the day. Kenny Irwin plays backstretch pinball, his 6th DNF of the year. Coming to halfway, besides Martin, the driver of the race by Matt Kenseth. First Winston Cup start in for Bill Elliott, sitting 5th here. Then a bizarre sequence. Caution so that Kenny Irwin could be taken to a local hospital for a checkup. He is now okay. NASCAR black flags Jeff Gordon. They say a fender was pulled out too far. Ray Evernham and the team not happy at all. Gordon returns in 9th. Just short of 100 miles to go. Jeff Burton would slam the front straightaway wall. He's done for the afternoon. Leaders pit. Bobby Labonte comes out 2nd. Gordon to 3rd. And then the other big wreck of the day with 80 to go. Todd Bodine in the 91 spins. Mike Skidder, Jerry Nadeau involved. They were all having good runs until this. But the story of the day was Mark Martin. He stretched his lead to as much as 2 seconds at times. Jimmy Fennig put a terrific horse under Mark Martin today. Martin wins his 6th Winston Cup event of the season. Gordon finishes 2nd. Mayfield, Bobby Labonte, Rusty Wallace, and look at Kenseth there in 6th spot. Mark Martin leads 379 laps. Kenseth finishes 6th in his first Winston Cup start. We've got plenty more to come from Dover. Mark Martin earning his 6th Winston Cup race of the year this season. But as always, plenty of other sidebars and subplots to this one. Let's head back to Dover now. Bob Dillner standing by to tell us a little more about the great run today of Matt Kenseth. Bob?
Well, Rick, an unbelievable run for this guy right here. Matt subbing for Bill Elliott, and just an awesome run. A top 10 finish in your first official Winston Cup start.
Yeah, we really had a good car, man. That McDonald's Ford was groovy, and it really ran good in the beginning. It really ran good all day. When I was running 2nd there behind Mark, I was getting greedy, and I wanted to try to get the car a little better, even though, come to find out, it was about as best we were going to get it. And kind of had them over adjust a little bit. Got loose that 2nd run, and the last run we went halfway back in between, but we were still too loose there then. So that's all I could wrestle out of it. But we had a really good race car, and I learned a little bit about Winston Cup racing today. And Mark won, so that was awesome. And my first start we finished 6th, and gave the McDonald's car a really good ride today.
Tell me this was no easy task, though. You guys were on pins and needles with a kind of a motor problem in the middle of the race.
We never did figure out what it was. You know, we got up to 3rd or 4th there, and the thing would start breaking up like it was breaking a valve spring and shaking everything. And then it did it for like, 20 laps in a row. And then we came in and pitted and got tires and came back out. They opened the hood and they hit the distributor cap once and just put fuel in it and went back out. 2 laps after the restart, it started missing again. It cleared up. It ran really good all day until the last caution, and it missed again for like 3 laps, and then it took off and ran the rest of the day. So there might have just been a piece of dirt in the carburetor or something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, I was going to be pretty disappointed if I was going to break there. We were really having a good day, and everything turned out really great.
Well, congratulations, Matt.
Thanks.
To Matt Yoakum. To Steve Burns.
And Bobby Labonte came home 4th. Describe your run today, Bobby. Top 5.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't that good at the beginning, but we got better as it went, made some changes on the car, and changed driving a little bit there. It was a little tight in the center all day, and I couldn't really get that out, and once I got it out a little bit, it got too loose off, so then we had to back up. Just couldn't ever get the center right, but, we stayed out of trouble and, had a good run, caught a couple caution flags that we needed to catch, and, were able to run with them a little bit, but when they wanted to go or needed to go, they went.
All right, good run, Bobby.
Okay, thanks.
Good run for Bobby Labonte today, and a great run, certainly, for Matt Kenseth. Thanks, guys. We've got a lot more from Dover Downs coming up in just a couple of moments. Let's catch you up on some of the news of this week. Some off-track moves in Winston Cup racing in the last few days. Crew Chief Larry McReynolds has decided to stay home and remain with Richard Childress the next couple of years. Larry Mack was considering his own Cup team with a longtime business associate, but McReynolds tells us that plan for now is on hold.
We're not going to let up on that deal. You know, we come so close with some major sponsors. We probably could have signed a sponsor back in late August. Just felt like the money was not right to do the program that we're looking at doing. And we still got the proposals on the table, still working on getting everything in place. Hopefully by early to midsummer next year, we'll have all this in place, and I'll give this effort all I can give it through the end of '99, but then hopefully go after it full bore in the 2000 with this new race team.
There is a new crew chief in place now for the number 94. Dick Trickle will now be working with Mike Hillman at Judy Donlevy's shop. Hillman had run things for Cale Yarborough's team until the middle of the season, taking over on the Heilig Myers Taurus this weekend. Hillman replacing Tommy Baldwin Jr., who moved on to Bill Davis's Pontiac group, for driver Ward Burton this week as well. And Jeff Bodine's Winston Cup future may be a little bit more settled now. Jeff selling the remaining shares of the Phillips Ford race team to Jim Matei. Matei now the sole owner of the 17. No word yet on whether Jeff will stay on as driver of the 7 car next year, or if Matei will go after another driver, perhaps Michael Waltrip. That's been widely rumored. And there's plenty more to come on race day this Sunday. The Indy Racing League tackling Texas for the 2nd time this year. We'll have an update for you. We'll take you to Reading, Pennsylvania to preview the final rounds of the Keystone Nationals coming up here live on TNN at 5 o'clock Eastern today. The IRL smack in the middle of their 2nd Texas Motor Speedway run. As we mentioned, we'll have an in-progress report. Saturday's Busch Series Rumble.
Race Day is brought to you by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
Team Mopar. Parts for sprint cars and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for NASCAR Super Truck and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Let's say Spider-Man is like Castrol Syntec motor oil. And this is a harmful particle in your engine. Get the point? You see, Syntec's patented stabilizers seek out and neutralize harmful particles, protecting in ways other oils can't. Castrol Syntec, the active lubricant.
Rogaine Extra Strength works for 4 out of 5 men.
What do you mean, works?
Regrows hair, or at least stops hair loss.
With my luck, I'll be that 5th guy.
Probably not. But here's our guarantee. Give Rogaine Extra Strength an honest chance. You be the judge. It stops hair loss, or regrows hair, more hair, thicker hair, faster, or we give your money back. Guaranteed. Rogaine Extra Strength works for you, or your money back.
I can't lose.
When you buy a set of split-fire spark plugs, you get the same technology that ignites Jim Yates, NHRA Winston Pro Stock champion, who quarter-mile in under 7 seconds. The legendary split-fire Performance V spark plug, because performance is everything. Parachute sold separately.
It's another wide-open dirt-slinging fight to the finish as the Pennzoil World of Outlaws roll into Nebraska. It's the Cornhusker Outlaw Showdown, Friday night at 8 Eastern on TNN Motor Madness.
Post-race at Dover Downs. Plenty more coverage from Dover Downs coming up. Mark Martin enjoying the spoils of victory this afternoon, his 6th Winston Cup win of the season. But we're the meat of the sandwich, as we told you before. The NHRA's Winston Drag Racing Stars busy. In just a little while, they haul to the Keystone State this weekend for the Pioneer Keystone Nationals. And Warren Johnson is a lock to claim another Pro Stock Championship, but the Top Fuel and Funny Car title chases are likely to go right down to the finish line. Let's head to Reading. The final rounds are coming in just a short time. TNN's Bob Fry there to call the action for us.
Rick, it's exciting for all of us that follow the NHRA Winston Drag Racing Tour to have a couple of professional points chases that are still alive. I mean, a few years ago, it was John Force who wrapped up the funny car title before we even came to Maple Grove. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a race down to the wire in both of the fuel classes. Pro Stock's a little different story, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. First of all, the major combatants in the top fuel category, Corey Mack, who's been leading most of the season with the McDonald's car. He continues to run very well. He had a tough race out there at Indianapolis, going out in the semifinals, while Gary Scelzi wound up winning the race and picking up some points. Scelzi here at Maple Grove has been nothing short of brilliant. Qualified number 1 at 4.55 seconds, the 4th quickest pass ever. The key to success for Team Winston, I think, this year, Rick, has been that they've only lost once in the first round, and that was at the very first race of the season. Joe Amato slipped back to the number 3 position, but he's got a blocker here this weekend. His team driver, Bill Walsh, hopes to be able to either beat somebody or enabled Joe to go to the finals here this weekend. John Force is back in the catbird seat in the funny car category, and even though they won't let him run his new car until 99, everybody else in a familiar spot looking up and chasing John Force, who is going for his eighth Winston Championship of the 1990s. The only time he didn't win it was back in 92. And the other race that I've officially declared over, Warren Johnson in the Pro Stock category. He is so far out in front, he can take a couple of races off and win this thing. The battle there in the number 2 spot. Jay Coughlin's in second, and Kurt Johnson in the number 3 position. He would love to finish 1-2 with his dad. So we got some great matchups right here, and a lot of that could be determined right here at Maple Grove in the Pioneer Keystone Nationals. Rick?
All right, thanks, Bob Fry and the entire TNN Motorsports crew and Reading for the Keystone Nationals. Live coverage of the finals coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern Time right here this afternoon. Well, the fight for the 3rd championship of the Indy Racing League taking center stage in Texas this afternoon. The Lone Star 500, the second time the IRL stars have dueled at Texas Motor Speedway this season. Billy Boat won the first IRL event of the year at Texas. He was the pole sitter today. We're going to give you an update, show you how they're running after 47 laps, and look at that. Raul Boisel is leading. Donnie Peachler, Scott Sharp, Mark Dismore, Tony Stewart, who was on the outside of the front row today, in 5th. Then Ward, Lazier Breck, Kenny Brack, Paul, and Marco Greco, rest of the top 10. And we'll let you know how it turns out next week. More to come on race day this Sunday. More from Dover, a rough afternoon on the concrete for a couple of new car and driver combinations. We'll update that for you. And a great day, of course, for Mark Martin. Saturday at Dover, the Busch Series stars were busy, 200 miles, and there wasn't anybody who was able to hang with Matt Kenseth. We'll also take you to St. Louis, the NASCAR Truckers, a big day for the High Plains Drifter. Those highlights when we come back.
Whatever you drive, auto value is where you go to get the parts you want, the value you expect.
Auto Value Parts Stores, the parts you want, the value you expect. For over 60 years, Mopar Parts Division of Chrysler Corporation has been building a name for itself. The only name guaranteed to perform in Chrysler Corporation vehicles. Plymouth Hemi-powered cars finish first, second, and third. On the track or on the street.
Big Daddy Doggone It has broken the 270 miles.
Always insist on Mopar parts.
Alderman and Jeffrey on finish one.
Get real. Get Mopar.
This week on NASCAR Garage, we'll go behind the scenes and under the hood to meet the new man calling the shots for Hendricks number 5, Andy Graves. Plus, find out what inspectors look for in the fuel system, a performance report on transmissions, and more. It's an insider's look at the people, the machines, and the tracks that make NASCAR racing the greatest sport in America.
NASCAR Garage, this weekend on the leader for motorsports coverage, TNN Motorsports.
Welcome back. The MBNA 400 is in the books at Dover Downs. Mark Martin with his 6th win of the year. The winner standing by live with our Steve Burns. Steve?
How about that, Rick? 6 victories for Mark Martin, the most he's ever won in 1 year, and his 2nd victory here at Dover.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, Matt and Arlene weren't able to be here. I hope y'all are still watching. This is pretty special. I know you were watching it today, and you know, it was a really great day. Jimmy Finnig, Sean Parker, and all these guys on the Valvoline team had the car right for me, and all I did is drive. I think I kind of know what Jeff Gordon feels like on Sundays a lot now because, you know, it was going to be hard to beat that thing today.
Strong car, strong driver, strong team. Let's go to Matt Yoke.
Well, it was a great day for Team Penske. 5th place for Rusty Wallace and for Jeremy Mayfield. You started 28th, got a lap down, and fought your way back to 3rd. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, it was a hard day, but, you know, this team deserved it. We started out a little tight, got a lap down, and about set us up for another lap, and man, just kept working on it, kept freeing it up, working on the car all day, and finally got that Mobil 1.4 back in the top 5.
2 top 5s for Team Penske. You're going to Martinsville next. Rusty, he's had some pretty good runs there in the past. Have you talked to him about a setup for there? I know you struggled there in the past a little bit.
Yeah, we're both looking forward to Martinsville, you know, and then on to Charlotte and then on to Talladega and wherever else we got to go. But we're excited. You know, we need to get some good runs for the end of the year here and trying to turn our deal around. Rusty's been running good every week, and we've kind of struggled a little bit, and hopefully today will get our momentum rolling.
Well, they've got some big Mo rolling. His 2nd top 5 since his victory at Pocono. Maybe another win will come next week at Martinsville. Rick?
Good outing for that team. All right, thanks, Matt Yoakum. Congratulations as well to Jeremy Mayfield. Well, the NASCAR weekend at Dover began yesterday. The Busch Grand National Stars attacking the Monster Mile for 200 laps in the point battle between Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, and Mike McLaughlin in center stage. Kevin Grubb, though, and Bobby Labonte started up front. There'd be 3 wrecks in the first 40 laps. First, Dick Trickle into the wall hard up in 1. And the restart would see Grubb in the unsponsored 52 leading, with Matt Kenseth challenging and going into 3, lap 17. Second wreck a couple of laps later. This is Buckshot Jones inside of Grubb. Going for second, he loses it, wrecks hard up in 3. And then David Green and the Stanley Pontiac giving the first turn of concrete. Everybody's okay. Kenseth in command with Labonte, Grubb, and Jeff Purvis in tow. Only lead change really on pit road. Michael Waltrip on a different cycle would lead several laps, but when Michael made his stop a little later, Kenseth would reclaim the point. Last quarter, 2 more wrecks, front stretch. Dave Rosendi subbing in the 78 car. He's all right. Then with 28 laps left, Jeff Kroves in contact with Elliott Sadler, Hermie Sadler, Hal Browning in there too. Final restart, 22 trips are left. Kenseth, Kevin Grubb, Elton Sawyer moving up to third nicely, but no change after that. That's the way they finished. Kenseth with his 3rd Busch Grand National win of the season started off a very profitable weekend. Point leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes home in 8th spot. Our Bob Dillner says the winner is not conceding the Busch Series championship.
These miles have been good to me. This place is awesome. I've always, since we run 3rd here last fall, I felt like we had a car good enough to win the race, and probably my inexperience is the only thing that cost us a win there. I really wanted to win here. I felt like in the spring we had a good chance and had a problem, and it was nice to dominate as much as we did all day during the long green flags, and I usually see the 3-car doing that, so when I can do that, it makes me feel good.
And finally, Matt Kenseth was able to capitalize on a good finish in the point chase. Point leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. struggled all day, despite bringing the same car he won with here at Dover this spring.
We just didn't have the setup. We got the car kind of close there at the end, but the AC Delco Chevrolet Monte Carlo just, we got too far behind there early in the race, and it cost us a lot. Pretty happy for Matt and those guys. They deserve a win. They got a good enough team, and we're just glad to be still 97 points ahead of them, because it's tough to stay there.
The hard thing is, a terrible run for him is 8th. Probably what he thinks, and which is true. So he's real tough to beat. If he doesn't have some type of problem, the only possible way we're going to beat him is to win most of the rest of these races, and that, that's not real feasible. So we just need to run as hard as we can every week and get good finishes and make sure we don't make any more mistakes, because if we make one more mistake, we're done.
No, we're not out of it. You need to be consistent. We started the season being consistent. We got a little bit offbeat. We've got a good bunch of people here. We don't give up. We'll continue on to Charlotte and see what we've got for them. A little bit of time left, but Junior and Matt are both doing a good job.
The Busch Series pole sitter jinx lived up to its reputation here at Dover. Nobody has won from the pole since Morgan Shepherd did it back in 1986. Pole sitter Kevin Grubb did have a good finish, though, a career best, as did Dave Blaney.
Well, yeah, we were competitive. They got me out of the pits good on that last stop and running 4th, and man, I got just a little tighter than I've been all day, and I couldn't hold on to it. But we were tickled all together. That's what we wanted, to be competitive, and the crew's getting confidence in me, and the other drivers are getting confidence to race with me, and that's what we're looking for this first year.
We've had this good of a race car for, I know, 6 or 7 races this year. The bad luck's been keeping us out of winning a race and running in the top 5. But today, nothing went wrong. We had a smooth run, good pit stops. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We just need a sponsor over here. It was fun.
Interesting afternoon. Good run for Kevin Grubb, and there's a lot more to come on race day, a special late Sunday afternoon edition. A reminder for you, check out our website. It's www.country.com. If you missed our live Dover Cup webcast, check out TNNRacing.com this week. Download the pictures. Race day. We'll be right back.
A lot of folks in Johnson City, Tennessee will tell you when you need a part for your car, go to AutoZone. The parts are top quality, the prices are low, and the people are helpful, like Gary Jennings. You see, when it comes to auto parts, folks will tell you Gary really knows his stuff. Oh, sure, there know there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Gary, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Team Mopar. Parts for Pro Stock and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Mopar. Parts for top fuel dragsters and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Mack Trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sales. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK. LA West Luxury Vans. LA West vans are available at select Ford dealerships nationwide. Call us at 800-786-VANS. By Featherlight, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, World of Outlaws, IRL, and a major sponsor of NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 800-800-1230.
Back with our Mopar Performance Update. This has been a full NASCAR weekend for us here on TNN. NASCAR's Craftsman Truckers at Gateway International for the first time yesterday near St. Louis. Ram Tough 200 saw Greg Biffle on the pole. Nobody near the arch. Biffle would be the early leader. Great wave of the green flag there. Jay Sauter would move to second. Early tires, especially right fronts, would be the story. Several cautions in this one. Restart after the first would put Ron Hornaday on the point. Jack Sprague dogging him. Andy Houston's highs and lows continuing after his first win at New Hampshire. Some hard hits like this one yesterday. Good action here. 63 laps on the board. Kevin Harvick will roll to the lead in the 75, but Jack Sprague quickly works the 75 over, gets back out in front in turn 1. With 70 on the board, Rick Corelli's on the move underneath Sprague in 4 to lead, while Joe Ruttman, 2, cuts a right front tire. Less than 50 to go. Trouble for pole winner Biffle. Dogged by Hornaday into 1. Slips up into the wall. But Corelli is strong. He's got Jay Sauter with him now. Corelli does not pit, neither does Sauter. On the restart, 40 to go. Sprague takes tires, and he's charging, but can't get any closer than this. Sauter will charge in the last few laps, too. He's a flat track specialist, but Corelli hung up on the outside. Sprague closes in. Sauter wiggles. Look at Hornaday, who's been close. He moves to second spot. Corelli takes advantage of all the action behind him. He pulls away to the victory. Hornaday can't get closer. Corelli's first win of 1998, his first in 63 tries. Second career Truck Series win. Let's get more of the post-race now. TNN's Randy Pemberton in St. Louis.
The race was actually a save for Jack Sprague. It was a great finish for Ron Hornaday in the points and a reemergence for Rick Corelli, who ended up in victory lane. But the pole sitter, well, he certainly had his problems.
He couldn't quite get the feel we wanted, and coming up off of 2 back there, got a little tight, and Corelli got me a little sideways, and we got the wing on the wall and took a little of the aero off it. We're digging. We're going to get one of them someday, and we'll keep going and go to Martinsville, and we'll get it figured out.
We raced hard. We had a good truck. Me and Biffle got together. I got a little tight, but you know what? It didn't matter. I wasn't going to give it up because I know how to lose them here. I'll tell you what, this sure feels great how to win.
Tough race. Good day. We just couldn't get going. It took us 15, 20 laps to go, and that's what we have to do. I don't know if we had a better truck, but we definitely on a longer run we can catch Ricky, and the reverse play before. I won one like that from Ricky.
I thought maybe I was going to gain 5 on him and end up losing 10 to him, so it's going to be a dogfight down to the end, and these guys did a great job. We just can't seem to quit having little bitty problems.
Well, it was a tough day for some on tires, as well as several of the top point contenders for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship for this season. Next week, they'll head to Martinsville, Virginia, at Clay Arrow's beautiful half mile, where they'll do 250 laps. It'll be a dogfight. You can bet on that. Rick, back to you.
All right, thanks. Randy Pemberton for us in St. Louis. Time now to take a look at the different championship chases underway right now. Our Texaco Points Roundup. In the Winston Cup Series, Jeff Gordon's lead over Mark Martin, 184 now after that victory at Dover by Martin today. On the Busch Series side, Dale Earnhardt Jr. still pretty comfortably in front of Matt Kenseth, but Kenseth has a good shot here. One of the few real dogfights left is in the Truck Series. Jack Sprague and Ron Hornaday, look at that. 5 points separate the two. That one will probably go to the wire. The Kart Championship long since decided. Alex Zanardi has this one, and he is on his way to a record points total. Good battle, though, for second on through 5th. In the IRL, the standings heading into today's Texas event, Kenny Brack, the point leader, Hamilton and Stewart with a good chance, Sharp as well with a shot. Right now, though, as we told you, Raul Boisel in the lead in Texas. There is more to come on race day. As we take a timeout, let's look at the motorsports action ahead on the tube for you this week. Next up right here, the NHRA from Keystone Dragway at 5 o'clock Eastern, the Pioneer Keystone Nationals. Also next week, the Outlaws visit us Friday night. The ASA live here Saturday afternoon. We're back at 11 o'clock Eastern next Sunday morning.
Mopar. Parts for Pro Stock and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for top fuel dragsters and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Nobody loves cars more than I do. Each one is a work of art. So when the maker of all these chose a new antifreeze, it got my attention.
General Motors now uses the deck school technology of Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze in virtually all its new vehicles. The same patented formula you can use in your car for 5 years or 150,000 miles. So do what GM did. Switch to Haviland.
I use it in my car. I only wish this were it.
Know what frustrates me? People use the wrong product to stop water from leaking through their basement walls. They think a water sealer will do the same job as a waterproofer. Water sealers go on thin and only repel water. But Drylock Masonry Waterproofer goes on thick. It fills the pores in the masonry and expands as it dries to form a tough waterproof barrier. Use it on exterior masonry and concrete swimming pools, too. So don't use a water sealer when you need a waterproofer. Use Drylock or latex-based Drylock. They're guaranteed to stop water.
Rogaine Extra Strength works for 4 out of 5 men.
What do you mean, works?
Regrows hair, or at least stops hair loss.
With my luck, I'll be that 5th guy.
Probably not. But here's our guarantee. Give Rogaine Extra Strength an honest chance. You be the judge. It stops hair loss, or regrows hair, more hair, thicker hair, faster, or we give your money back. Guaranteed. Rogaine Extra Strength works for you, or your money back.
I can't lose.
Big West Coast weekend for the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. The Chico Gold Cup, one of the big events of the year. Jack Haudenschild wins the main show last night, worth $20,000. Fred Kading, Andy Hillenberg, Steve Kinzer, who remains the point leader, and West Coaster Randy Tyner, your top 5. Time for our Mopar Performer of the Week. Quite a weekend for one of NASCAR's young lions. Matt Kenseth schooled him Saturday in the Busch Series run at Dover. And then today, his first ever Winston Cup start in relief of Bill Elliott. Finishes 6th, was 2nd for quite a while. Matt Kenseth is your Mopar Performer of the Week. That's all the time we have on race day this Sunday at a special time. We're back next week at 11 Eastern. Coming up at 5 Eastern, live coverage of the NHR.